NBC Sports, home of racing's biggest events, proudly presents the Breeders' Cup Challenge Series.
On the edge of New York City, Belmont Park in Elmont, New York, where 12 Triple Crown placards are now on display. American Pharoah's name and legacy firmly entrenched alongside the legends of the sport. Today at Belmont, racing fans celebrating 4th of July on the Stars and Stripes program. Festival of Racing featuring 6 graded stakes races worth $3.6 million. The horse that spoiled last year's Triple Crown bid is here. Tonalist, odds-on favorite for the Grade 2 Suburban Handicap. And Lady Eli, undefeated, already a Breeders' Cup champion, and the favorite, Grade 1 Belmont Oaks Invitational. This is the Breeders' Cup Challenge Series today. Grade 2 Suburban Handicap in the Grade 1 Belmont Oaks Invitational. Welcome to Belmont Park. I'm Lafitte Pinkai. It's been exactly 4 weeks since we watched American Pharoah become just the 12th Triple Crown winner in front of 90,000 here at Belmont. We'll have an update on American Pharoah later on in the show. But the reason we're here today, it is the Breeders' Cup Challenge Series. And the Breeders' Cup, of course, horse racing's year-end championship event. The Challenge Series, a group of qualifying races in which the rules are simple. It's win and you're in. Today's challenge event, the Grade 1 Belmont Oaks, win and you're in for the Breeders' Cup Filly Mare Turf. But first things first, getting closer to post time for the first of 2 live races, we'll be showing Grade 2 Suburban Handicap, not a challenge event, but could have significant implications on the Breeders' Cup Classic. Familiar name, Tonalist, favored at 1-5. And now joined by Hall of Fame jockey Jerry Bailey, Randy Moss. Gentlemen, happy 4th of July.
Likewise.
To both of you. We're going to start with the Suburban, Jerry, and Tonalist, last year's Belmont Stakes winner.
And there's a reason he's 1-5. In fact, there's several reasons that he is. Of his 5 races here at Belmont Park, he's won 4 of them. The other where he was second. He's won at 1.25 miles here at Belmont Park. So we know he likes the track. We know he likes the distance. And if he were to win today, it would only add to the intrigue of the eventual showdown with the Classic Division leader, American Pharoah. I have Tonalist as number 2 in the division. So if he wins today, great showdown coming in the Breeders' Cup Classic at Keeneland later in October.
Later, Randy, Grade 1 Belmont Oaks Invitational, 3-year-old fillies on grass going 1.25 miles. Lady Eli strictly the one to beat. How good is she?
Oh, she is a potential superstar. She's 5 for 5 lifetime, the winner of last fall's Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf. And it's also the way that she wins her races with these dramatic bursts of acceleration. She also has a couple of high-profile people in her corner. Jockey Irad Ortiz Jr. tops the Belmont standings. Trainer Chad Brown has won this race the last 3 years, and he has 3 fillies in this year's race. Now, it won't be easy. There's some good competition. Spanish Queen from California, East-West thing going on here. But Lady Eli is so visually impressive, I think it would be a big upset if she lost.
Post time for the Oaks, 5:46 Eastern, as we welcome in the remainder of our broadcast team, starting with Nick Luck standing by in the winner's circle. Nick, a very happy 4th of July to you.
Lafitte, very kind of you to invite me on the 4th of July as an interloper from the motherland. Kind of you also to invite 2 Europeans to the Belmont Oaks Invitational. First of those trained by German Michael Figger is O'Lauder. Now, she's been training well, but owner Martin Schwartz says he's been doing a rain dance. He can put his dancing heels away. The rain has not come. The sun is shining now. That will mitigate against her chance. Perhaps more pertinently, outstanding, representing Aidan O'Brien's outstanding Irish stable. Portentously named as a sister to the Breeders' Cup Turf winner Magician. Reports of her work are promising. They will need to improve today, however, to beat Lady Eli. Suburban not too far away. Let's check in with Donna Brothers.
Exactly, Nick. Horses on the track right now for the Suburban Handicap. Only 6 horses in this race, 2 of them trained by Pletcher. And one of those horses is the number 3, My Loot, who's making his 19th career start today, but only his 2nd start for Pletcher. And his last race was arguably the best race of his career. And while Pletcher hasn't trained him throughout his career, he's competed against him, he's seen him, and he said that physically this horse has grown and matured from age 4 to 5. But he did warn that he's a horse who needs to not make the lead too soon or he'll pull up, which shouldn't be a problem with his other horse in the race, Coach Inge, who's the speed of this race and won last time at 1.5 miles, Lafitte.
And Donna, surprisingly, Todd Pletcher seeking his first win in this Grade 2 Suburban Handicap. And make sure to log on to MillionDollarFinish.com for your chance to win a VIP trip to the 2015 Breeders' Cup at Keeneland. Free to play. Just go to MillionDollarFinish.com and pick your order of finish before post time of the Belmont Oaks. When we come back, the horse that spoiled California Chrome's bid for the Triple Crown last year, Tonalist, odds-on favorite in the Grade 2 Suburban, next from Belmont.
Enjoy summer in Saratoga, where world-class thoroughbred racing meets one of America's top main streets. Join us at Saratoga Racecourse for 40 days of excitement beginning July 24th. Visit us at nyra.com and see why Saratoga has welcomed millions for more than 150 years.
Feel the excitement. Feel the thrill. It's easy, it's legal, and because it's live, Twin Spires puts you at the center of it all. So download, sign up, and receive a $100 bonus today. Because with the new Twin Spires app on your iPhone or twinspires.tv on any device, you can bet the horses now. Download the new Twin Spires app for iOS today.
I've got a to-do list and 5 acres of fresh air.
Top 3 tools: hammer, screwdriver, front loader.
Happiness is a drive-over mower deck.
A John Deere dealer can teach tractors to anybody.
In the right hands, an iMatch Quick Hitch could probably cure most of the world's problems.
That's how we run, and nothing runs like a Deere. John Deere is a proud sponsor of the Breeders' Cup.
Enjoy summer in Saratoga, where world-class thoroughbred racing meets one of America's top main streets. Join us at Saratoga Racecourse for 40 days of excitement beginning July 24th. Visit us at nyra.com and see why Saratoga has welcomed millions for more than 150 years.
The Breeders' Cup Challenge is brought to you by Twin Spires. Pick a winner today at twinspires.tv. And by Lanes End Farm. 4th of July at Belmont Park, the Stars and Stripes program. Food trucks, kids having a great time, and a stellar afternoon of racing. In the meantime, horses on track for the Grade 2 Suburban Handicap, 1.25 miles on dirt, same distance as the Kentucky Derby, same distance as the Breeders' Cup Classic. John Deere weather and track condition report: 75 degrees, very comfortable. Main track listed as fast for the upcoming Suburban. Turf course listed as firm for today's Grade 1 Belmont Oaks. Post time for the Suburban. We check the odds. No surprise. Tonalist has been crushed throughout. Odds on 1 to 5 in this field is 6. Tonalist. We'll see how he looks on the track. The heavy favorite, gentlemen. He's a racehorse who has proved to be next to unbeatable here at Belmont Park.
And the 1.25 miles is a perfect distance for him. I agree with Jerry in his assessment of the Classic division right now. I do weekly rankings for BreedersCup.com. I have him number 2 behind American Pharoah right now in rankings that haven't really changed a whole lot in the last couple of weeks because there haven't been many horses running. I think Tonalist deserves to be the favorite. I think he's the most likely winner. I don't think he deserves to be 1 to 5 for several reasons. Outside post position, not good given where the starting gate is placed for this distance. It's a handicap race. He carries 123 pounds, 4 to 9 pounds more than the rest of the field. And thirdly, Jerry, the pace scenario might not work in his favor.
It might not, but he has shown his versatility. It's up to jockey John Velasquez, who rides him, to determine if they're going too slow or too fast early. He'll certainly have to catch Coach Inge, who will most certainly be on the lead. His trainer Todd Pletcher, in explaining why he's been so good his last 2 races. He had the ultimate equipment change last fall when he was castrated. Since there, it took him a few races to get the hang of what he was supposed to do, but he has been terrific in his last 2.
Coach Inge, and then you have the 2nd of 2 for trainer Todd Pletcher, number 3, Mylute, a non-factor in this event last year, having finished 6th in the 2015 Suburban.
He might be better now for trainer Todd Pletcher for some reason. This is his 2nd start for Pletcher, his last race, an allowance race, granted, easier competition. He was very, very impressive. Now, what's interesting, Coach Inge last time was ridden by John Velasquez. My Loot last start was ridden by John Velasquez. Velasquez is choosing to ride Tonalist instead, but My Loot is not without a chance, getting 8 pounds from the favorite in the weights.
Daily Racing Form handicapper Matt Bernier. Any defeating of Tonalist at 2-5 in this Suburban?
How about we take a shot with a big number to feet down the inside? The number 1 Street Babe, Joel Rosario, send him right to the front.
Big price. 38-1 as they're at the gate. Inaugurated in 1884, this Grade 2 Suburban Handicap. 3 horses have won here and captured Breeders' Cup Classic glory. Skip Away 1997, Invasor 2006, Mucho Macho Man 2 years ago. It is post time for the Grade 2 Suburban. Here's Larry Colmus.
Winner Tonalist coming up to the outside stall. Goes in. They're all in line. They're off in the Suburban and away to a very good start. And it is Street Babe and Coach Inge who go out to the front together. These two kick on to lead by 3 lengths over My Loot, who settles into stride running in 3rd position. After that, it is neck and neck. FNX and Tonalist will be last early, and he is a good 15 lengths off the lead as the top 2 move right along to the backstretch. Street Babe and Coach Inge went a quarter in 22-4. They're just flying along in the run up the backstretch. 4.5 lengths ahead of My Loot, who's 3rd by 2.5. Then it's neck and neck, followed by FNX and Tonalist and John Velasquez biding their time, but they're getting closer. The pace appears to be moderating, and Tonalist is now just 9 lengths off the lead. It is Street Babe and Coach Inge together through a 46 flat half mile. They're 4 lengths ahead of My Loot, and Tonalist is moving in tandem now with FNX, and they just went by My Loot, and they're now just 3 lengths off the lead, and neck trails the field. It is Street Babe and Coach Inge, and Tonalist moves now as they round the far turn, and My Loot goes right with them. And now these 4 are right together as they round the far turn. Coach Inge, Tonalist, and My Loot, 3/4 in 110 flat, and they're across the track, and FNX is just behind them, running 4th on the inside and going well. And then it's neck and neck in 5th, and Street Babe has dropped back to last. And now Coach Inge carries his speed to the top of the stretch. He had that early battle with Street Babe, and he's clear as they turn for home. FNX comes off the rail for his run. Tonalist is full out in 3rd, and they're into the stretch, and it's Coach Inge into the final furlong. He's got 1/8 of a mile to go. FNX and Tonalist are running after him. Coach Inge fully extended. FNX and Tonalist are coming up on the outside. Here's Tonalist and FNX, and they'll battle it out to the wire in the Suburban. It's a head-bobbing finish. That is very close. It looked like FNX edged out Tonalist in the Suburban, but it is very close. And then it was Coach Inge, and neck was 4th.
Slugfest to the wire. Todd Pletcher, has he won his first Suburban? Tonalist, FNX, those 2 hitting the wire together in this Grade 2 Suburban Handicap.
Well, he was a big price at 7-1 for a reason, 6-1 for a reason. In his last race, coming off 2 brilliant performances, he bolted in the Brooklyn here on Belmont Card Day. He went to the outside fence, was pulled up, eased out of the race. And there was a couple of reasons why. In talking to his trainer, Jimmy Jerkins, earlier this week, he said he'd never done it before, so he didn't know what was wrong. He checked his teeth. They were a little sharp, so he filed them down, a procedure called floating. He changed the bridle on the horse so he'd be more manageable, and he changed the jockey. He thought that Junior Alvarado, his jockey today, had softer hands, would get along with him better, and he was all dressed up around the turn with no place to go, in a pocket.
An upset.
And as soon as he got a spot to run, man, did he run hard.
FNX over Tonalist by a nose. Todd Pletcher's Coach Inge having to settle for 3rd. Another look, deep stretch. Again, a slugfest to the wire in between horses. FNX on the outside, Tonalist reaching for the wire.
How impressively did Coach Inge hang in there as well? But we called the photo finish between Hard Aces and Opportunity.
Not this time.
Probably shouldn't have. This one was a little bit more clear cut. FNX winning between horses there by a nose. To Jerry's point, if you can make an excuse, although there was a bit of a head bob there, if you can make an excuse for his last race, as you see the photo, and clearly there was an excuse, then if you go back to his race before last, he's good enough to beat horses like this, especially getting 6 pounds of weight from Tonalist. That was the difference when the finish is that close in the outcome of this race.
Now we revisit the change in equipment. Blinkers off Tonalist. He was very sluggish out of the gate. Didn't look like he was persevering all the way through the stretch. It looked like he was a little spotty running, a little here, a little there. Maybe the blinkers go back on.
2 straight heartbreaking defeats at Belmont for Tonalist, defeated in the Met Mile and defeated by that colt in the Suburban. F&X in the Grade 2 Suburban. Results when we come back.
Sailing through the heart of cities and landscapes with Viking, you'll see things differently. You'll get closer to iconic landmarks, to local life and cultural treasures. It's a feeling that only a river can give you, that only Viking can give you. Spend less time getting there and more time being there. Viking River Cruises, exploring the world in comfort.
The first horse in 37 years to sire a Triple Crown winner is also the leading third crop sire in the world and boasts the highest AEI of any sire in North America, higher than Tappet and Warfront. It takes a pioneer to lead an empire.
Hey, Rick. I've been meaning to get back to you. It's important. Next week. Yep.
Sounds good. We'll see you.
Tim, no time now, but halftime.
You play?
Where'd you find this guy? My life insurance guy. So what are you doing next weekend?
All summer long, the world's top thoroughbreds compete for a spot in the richest event in horse racing. And Triple Crown winner American Pharoah makes his return in the William Hill Haskell Invitational Sunday, August 2nd on NBC. And make sure to sign up at twinspires.tv to bet today's races and earn a $100 bonus. F&X entering the winner's circle after pulling off the upset over Tonalist in the Grade 2 Suburban Handicap. Now 6 of 16 lifetime, 2 wins here at Belmont Park, in case you're wondering about the origin of the name. Well, his owner got divorced, and he bought the horse, and then he named the horse F&X. The rest you can figure out yourself. 562 F&X in a final time of 2:01 and 2. The upset in the Suburban Handicap. F&X over Tonalist and Todd Pletcher's coach Inge having to settle for third. So it was 1 month ago here at Belmont Park with 90,000 in attendance and hopes running high. Hopes of witnessing the first Triple Crown winner in 37 years.
For those backing American Pharoah, it'll be a mile and a half to history or to heartbreak.
All eyes on American Pharoah.
Into the gate with a chance at the Triple Crown.
They're off in the Belmont Stakes. American Pharoah is halfway home in the Belmont. The 37-year wait is over. American Pharoah is finally the one.
Ever since American Pharoah hit the wire 28 days ago, his connections have been in demand by national media, eager to join the Triple Crown celebration.
This pretty much says it all. New York Post cover. What a stud, it says right here. The 37-year drought is over.
As a trainer, I've had some fortunate to have some good horses. We all wait for that one super horse. I think this is him. He knows he's good.
Jockey Victor Espinosa's post-race agenda included a first pitch at Yankee Stadium and a turn on The Tonight Show.
Triple Crown winning jockey Victor Espinosa.
You ready to do this?
Thank you for being here, buddy, and congratulations again. That was awesome.
And adoring fans on both coasts have been given a glimpse of the new champion, both at Churchill Downs and back at his home track at Santa Anita, where since his homecoming last week, Team Pharoah has been visited by movie stars like Julia Roberts and made red carpet appearances with the likes of Carrie Underwood. And as usual, Pharoah looked spectacular in his first workout since the Belmont victory earlier this week. And here's a man that called the first Triple Crown winner in 37 years. Larry Colmus, and you thought you were excited about American Pharoah winning the Triple Crown.
American Pharoah's got a 2-length lead. Frosted is all out at the 16th pole. And here it is. The 37-year wait is over. American Pharoah is finally the one. American Pharoah has won the Triple Crown.
As we're now joined by the very emphatic, very passionate Larry Colmus. Larry, were you taken aback by how emotional you became once American Pharoah crossed the wire, the crowning of a Triple Crown champion?
Well, I've always been an emotional kind of guy, so no surprise with that, Lafitte. But, you know, when something like that happens, I mean, it just hits you, and certainly did to me, that's for sure.
You only get one shot at calling that one race. How much pressure did you feel going in?
There was a lot. You know, if you're going to call history, you don't want to mess it up. So, you know, you have to prepare as much as you can. And luckily, American Pharoah made it easy for me because he won by 5.5 lengths, so I got to say what I wanted to say.
It was a great call, Larry. Thanks so much for the time. Have a great call in today's Belmont Oaks.
Thanks, Lafitte.
Larry Colmus, the voice of the Triple Crown, the Breeders' Cup, and New York Racing, joining us on the show, guys. The celebration of American Pharoah has been just awesome, and his popularity continues to be off the charts.
Yeah, Bob Baffert said he wanted to share him with America, and he has. I think about half of America has had their picture made with American Pharoah, including everyone on our announcing crew. Look at this. He got to smell Lafitte's hair gel. He got to nuzzle with Jerry. Donna fed him carrots. That's cheating. Nick Luck got to whisper in his ear, and in a moment of lunacy, they handed me the lead shank.
Good God.
Not knowing what kind of gamble that was. But now it is back to business for American Pharoah. Bob Baffert says that the petting zoo is closed. This was Monday, American Pharoah's first workout since winning the Belmont Stakes, and he looked pretty good. They're getting him cranked up, Jerry, for his next start.
Yeah, and what many of us suspected the last several weeks was made official Thursday. He will run in the Haskell. The question is, who will he run against? The horses that were closest to him this spring, runner-up in the Kentucky Derby, Firing Line, he's resting in California. Tail of Verb, second in the Preakness, he won't be ready in time. And Frosted, who was runner-up in the Belmont Stake, has already announced he's going to the Jim Dandy. So after the Haskell, what will it be? Well, the ultimate goal would likely be the Breeders' Cup Classic at Keeneland. What does he do in the meantime? Well, there's a laundry list of places he could go. In chronological order, they could be the Pacific Classic at Del Mar, the Travers at Saratoga, the Penn Derby at Pennsylvania, even the Awesome again at Santa Anita. So in between the Classic and the Haskell, who knows?
Of the previous 11 Triple Crown winners, 10 returned to race. Of those 10, 7 came back to win their first race following capturing the Triple Crown. And 4 weeks from tomorrow, American Pharoah will try to make it 8 of 11 in the Haskell Invitational, all part of the Breeders' Cup Challenge Series.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's July 4th weekend, live from Daytona. It's about rockets, red glare, white knuckles, and blue steel. Love taps, trading paint, and taking flags. It's friends, family, and a whole lot of faith. America, start your engines. NASCAR is back on NBC. The Coke 0400 tomorrow, 7 on NBC. Coverage begins tonight on NBCSN.
I began riding races at 11, took out my jock's license at 16. My dad always told me to work hard and have fun, and the rest will take care of itself. Turns out my old man was right, believe it or not, and I think about it every time I get legged up on a horse.
Introducing BetAmerica.com, your new home for online wagering. Sign up today and get a $300 deposit bonus.
It's time to play the Bet America way.
Whatever you're doing, can wait. The 4th of July sales event is on now. Time to drop everything and save. Get great financing, low lease offers, and big cash back on some of the most stylish rides around, like Fusion, Escape, and Explorer. So get here on the double and save big. Now lease a 2015 Explorer 4x4 for just $219 a month, or get 0% financing for 60 months at your local Ford dealer.
Six Flags introduces another first. Batman the Ride, now backwards. That's right, backwards. fly through loops and corkscrews, but you'll never see them coming. Go for the new El Diablo coaster. Go higher on King de Ka and Zumanjaro. And go faster on El Toro. Save up to $26 with any can of Coke. Or buy a day, get the summer free with a Thrill Pass. Go big. Go Six Flags Great Adventure.
Fireworks in the Bronx, Sunday on Sports 5.
Don't forget, you still have time to sign up for this year's Breeders' Cup Betting Challenge. Learn where to qualify online or in person at www.breederscup.com/BCBC. Horses in the paddock for today's Grade 1 Belmont Oaks. 3-year-old fillies running 1.25 miles on grass. The purse $1 million as we take you inside the starting gate, reading right to left, 14 of them. And we'll begin with Pine Needles, making her graded stakes debut. Lady Eli Morning Line favorite, winner of last year's Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf. Charlotte Ray, one of 2 West Coast invaders. It's only acting, Dad. Great story behind her name. Miss Chatelaine, second of 2 for Christophe Clement, who just saddled Tonalist to a second-place finish in the Suburban. 6 through 10 Spanish Queen, winner of the American Oaks in California. Consumer Credit, third to Spanish Queen in the American Oaks. Alorda, German filly, U.S. debut. Gypsy Judy, just her second lifetime start on grass. Outstanding Irish filly for Aidan O'Brien and Coolmore Racing. Sentiero, Italia's won 2 straight on grass in New York. Daring Duchess for Hall of Fame trainer Bill Mott. Lady Zuzu for Hall of Fame trainer Dwayne Lucas. Strict Compliance, third of 3 for Chad Brown. He also has Lady Eli and won this event a season ago with Minorette. And here's a look at It's Only Acting, Dad. Owned by Starlight Racing. One of the partners, Chris Mara. Chris, the senior vice president of player evaluation for the New York Giants. The Mara family with deep roots in New York sports history.
Jack Dempsey, the popular champion, brings a roar from the crowd. Round 1.
Back in the 30s, my grandfather, Tim Mara, was the promoter type guy, loved the fights.
The rougher the going, the tougher he is.
And actually the first legal bookmaker at the New York racetracks.
They're off in the Belmont Stakes.
That's kind of one of the ways he financed the Giants.
The Giants take on Pittsburgh at Yankee Stadium.
With the 9th pick in the 2015 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Eric Flowers.
There are similarities in the horse business and in finding college players, but in the horse thing, it's all about lineage. Every time I sit down, I learn something new. You know, Todd from Dallas is a big Cowboy fan, so we've had our barbs back and forth, but as I've always told him, he's really the Tom Landry of a horse trainer, so you can't go wrong having a Tom Landry working your horses out.
Pletcher and Mara team up again in today's Belmont Oaks with It's Only Acting, Dad, named by Mara in homage to the successful acting careers of his 2 daughters, Kate and Rooney.
I had no clue. Maybe with Kate a little, she just wouldn't give up. And with Rooney, it was a little bit later on in her life that she became successful. The one thing they have in common is they're really hardworking.
That's the response Chris Mara gets from his daughters, Kate and Rooney, when asked about the quote-unquote revealing scenes they have to do. It's only acting, Dad. Fair enough. It's only acting, Dad, in the same boat as 12 other 3-year-old fillies in this Grade 1 Belmont Oaks, trying to beat the favorite in Lady Eli. Randy, what might some of the obstacles be for Lady Eli this afternoon?
Well, she is an odds-on favorite right now, but trainer Chad Brown has been on the verge of an anxiety attack all week long. Why? Post position. She's got post position number 2 in a 14-horse field, and Brown is worried that she'll get stuck down on the inside with horses crowded all around her and won't be able to find a clear running lane. But Jerry, it's hard to imagine her getting into more trouble than the Wonder again in her last start.
Yeah, she was trapped just like she is now almost the entire race in the Wonder Again Stakes, but jockey Irad Ortiz Jr. steers around the clears. He's patient. He waits for these openings to materialize. And when they do, boy, is she more than willing to explode through a hole between horses. On this case, outside of him, she doesn't need much room and she doesn't need much time to do it. But to Chad's point, she most certainly will be boxed in most of the race, but I have a feeling with her turn of foot, she'll get through any hole that's available.
43 opponents faced, 43 opponents defeated. Lady Eli on the brink of becoming racing's newest millionairess. Down to Nick Luck.
Well, Lafitte, Lady Eli, the story is truly a family affair. I'm with the owners, Jay Hanley, Sol Coombin, Sol's wife Elizabeth, for whom this filly is named, and family, of course. Jay, what's the most important aspect about today's Belmont Oaks for you?
For me, it's
for the ability for Lady Eli to show what she really can do to the whole world. I'm hoping she gets the trip she wants to get and that she can just like show her stuff. That's it.
So you believe even though she's undefeated, we haven't seen the true Lady Eli yet?
I mean, it's hard to say that without sounding sort of pompous, but I really do believe that. I do.
So Sol, you have a star on your hands. Are you able to enjoy days like this with the family?
I am. This is what it's all about for me. I've got my family here, my parents, my in-laws, all my kids, my wife. I mean, it doesn't get better than this. This whole thing is, it's been great, and I love being here with my family.
Well, it's a great story. We're enjoying it with you. Best of luck, ladies and gentlemen, to Donna Brothers.
And Nick, while Lady Eli might be the best 3-year-old filly in the country, she didn't scare away 13 other rivals. One of those is the number 6 Spanish Queen. I talked to her trainer, Richard Baltus, about the decision to bring her here from California, and he pointed out 3 things. Number 1, it's a $1 million race. Number 2, she's training exceptionally well right now. And number 3, Spanish Queen already beat another Chad Brown filly, Consumer Credit, last time out in the American Oaks. The bottom line, for $1 million purse, it's worth taking on Lady Eli, Lafitte.
Yeah, Donna and Spanish Queen winning that American Oaks on her trainer's 54th birthday. Richie Baltus, just the 2nd Grade 1 win of his career. Updated odds for the Grade 1 Belmont Oaks Invitational. Win and you're in for the Breeders' Cup Filly Mare Turf. This is from favorites to long shots. Lady Eli, who was 5-2 on the morning line, 1-2 now with approximately 12 minutes to post. Outstanding, the Irish filly, 6-1. Spanish Queen, the Grade 1 winner, 7-1. Everyone else is double digits. Speaking of outstanding, the filly with the famous brother Randy Moss and subject of today's daily racing form pedigree profile.
Yes, outstanding is a full sister, meaning the same sire, Galileo, the great Galileo, and same dam, absolutely fabulous, as a horse called Magician. And there you see him in the process of winning the 2013 Breeders' Cup Turf at Santa Anita, running down a pretty fast female herself in the Fugue. Now, outstanding hasn't done nearly enough to be considered on the same level as her full brother, Magician, but she certainly has a good family tree.
Strong bloodlines, regally bred, and visit drf.com/breeding for the most in-depth pedigree coverage available. To the far outside, there is strict compliance. And what is the strategy and approach going to be this afternoon, breaking from the extreme outside 14 post position?
Well, talking to trainer Chad Brown, it was the obvious. She's got to save some ground somewhere, so when she breaks coming down the stretch the first time, her jockey Javier Castellano's got to make an attempt somewhere mid-pack to move over and try. I think a win for her would be like the 2 or the 3 path going in the first turn. The problem is she's probably going to lose ground on the second turn. I find it hard to imagine she'll be any less than 4 wide. She just doesn't have the quick acceleration like a Lady Eli to weave her way through traffic, so she's most certainly going to have to go around horses.
A look at Consumer Credit, who's also an overlay because of all the money being wagered on Lady Eli, all the other prices inflating. Consumer Credit, 3rd in a Grade 1 event. Here she is at 21-1 as the excitement builds here at Belmont Park and getting closer and closer to the Grade 1 $1 million Belmont Oaks. And want to take a look at Alorda, the U.S. debuting German filly. What do we know about her going in? Another one who's being ignored at 21-1. She opened up at 8-1.
In her races in Germany and France, Alorda races close to the pace. Now, that's over there. The pace is going to be a whole lot faster in this field. There's going to be some significant pace in here, I think, with Lady Zuzu, among others. So Alorda will be mid-pack or so. She was 3rd against very good competition last time out at Longchamp in Paris.
A delay saddling Alorda. When we come back, Grade 1 Belmont Oaks. Winning you're in for the Breeders' Cup Filly Mare Turf.
Sir, you're right.
Nice pelt.
Not everyone can be a professional golfer, but everyone could save money on car insurance with Geico.
How about a mulligan?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
English Channel takes the lead, and it's going to be English Channel. Runaway winning the Breeders' Cup Turf. Oxbow is the leader. It's Oxbow. Oxbow, 3 Preaknesses. Now striking the front is Red Rocks. Red Rocks to win the turf.
Feel the excitement. Feel the thrill. It's easy, it's legal, and because it's live, TwinSpires puts you at the center of it all. So download, sign up, and receive a $100 bonus today. Because with the new TwinSpires app on your iPhone or TwinSpires.tv on any device, you can bet the horses now. Download the new TwinSpires app for iOS today.
Welcome back to Belmont Park. Earlier today, all part of the Stars and Stripes program, the $1.25 million Belmont Derby. In deep stretch, the favorite, Bolo, retreating.
Yeah, the winner here, Forced the Pass, was brilliant down in Florida, was beaten, unlucky trip at Pimlico. He had a terrific race in Penn last time with a lot of trouble. No trouble today coming down the stretch, winning by multiple lengths.
Final quarter mile, 22.16 seconds, going a mile and a quarter. A heck of an effort for Forced the Pass.
Forced the Pass, the winner. So this was the stage in which we were first introduced to Toast of New York last year. All Toast of New York did was nearly win the Breeders' Cup Classic on dirt at Santa Anita. How productive do you think this Belmont Derby will be moving forward? How good is Forced the Pass?
Well, I've liked him ever since I saw him in Florida. As a matter of fact, when we went to the Preakness, I was all gunned up because I said, I like this horse. I want to watch him. I never bet on horse. I bet a couple of bucks on him. He had a very unlucky trip. Should have won that day. And the performance he had in his last race at Penn National was brilliant. He was 8th at the 8th pole and still managed to win. You saw when he had room today, what he did.
I wondered if you were going to admit that you bet on him.
I don't bet much, but
should have bet on him today.
He should almost be unbeaten.
He was 10-1 today. Today was the day to bet on him.
Well, all money was on Bolo. You remember him from the Kentucky Derby. He's supposed to be a much better grass horse. Came up empty this afternoon in the Belmont Derby. Check the odds for the upcoming Grade 1 Belmont Oaks Invitational. Lady Eli, who opened up at 5-2. And now here she is, 1-2. You'll see her in the post parade, the daily racing form post parade for this Grade 1 $1 million Belmont Oaks Invitational. And we'll have a chance to see the field in just a moment as we kick off the post parade with Pine Needles, currently 51-1.
Pine Needles, trained by Christophe Clement, was third last time out, beaten just a half length by Lady Eli in that Wonder Again.
Number 2, Lady Eli.
Trainer Chad Brown won this race last year with Minorette. Jockey Ired Ortiz, who's been aboard Lady Eli in all her races. He was second last year on Sea Queen, so now he looks to move up a spot.
Number 3, Charlotte Ray.
In her 5th place finish behind Spanish Queen last time out in the American Oaks, she was almost uncontrollable early, so blinkers come off. Jockey Joel Rosario won this race last year with Minorette.
Number 4, It's Only Acting, Dad.
So we looked at Lady Eli, how much trouble she was in. Well, It's Only Acting, Dad, was in the same race. She was further back, had almost as much trouble, and ran the fastest last quarter, so look for her to be coming late in the race, too, if she has room.
Number 5, Miss Chatelaine.
The second, trained by Clement, 6th in the Wonder Again, beaten 3 lengths by Lady Eli in her first start of the year.
Number 6, Spanish Queen.
She's obviously talented, so the two biggest questions are, will she be as effective on the Belmont grass, which is slightly different than California, and are 5 races in 4 months going to take the toll on this mare and the ship across the country?
There is Spanish Queen, one of only 2 Grade 1 winners in the field, along with Lady Eli. Overlay at 7-1 from a morning line of 7-2. Number 7, Consumer Credit.
Lady Eli's stablemate, the second of 3 in this field, trained by Chad Brown, 3rd in the American Oaks.
There she is with Junior Alvarado aboard, 18-1. Number 8, German filly, Alorda.
This German bred filly comes off a 3rd in one of the most important races in France for fillies this time of year. And although she was beaten 9 lengths, the winner set a track record that day, which makes her look a little bit better.
Number 9, Gypsy Judy.
3rd in the Penn Oaks last time out, a length behind Strict Compliance, less than a length.
Number 10, Outstanding.
Irish bred filly. She won her last 2, but those were on minor type racetracks in Ireland. And although the owners, Mr. and Mrs. Magner and Michael Tabor, won this race last year, this year's edition is a little bit tougher.
11, Sentiero Italia.
Owned by Godolphin Racing, named for a famous hiking trail in Italy. 2 for 3 Lifetime Stakes debut today.
Number 12, Daring Duchess.
Hall of Fame trainer Bill Mott added blinkers to her in her last race, which produced a win. She should be fairly close. We'll see. This is the acid test for her, though.
Number 13, Lady Zuzu.
She should be real close. She should be on the early pace. Trained by Wayne Lucas. Last out, Regret Stakes, Churchill Downs. 3.5 length lead in mid-stretch. Lost in a photo finish.
Finally, number 14, Strict Compliance.
She has a great closing kick, which she has shown winning her last 3 in a row. 4 wins in a second lifetime. She has a tremendous chance here, but as I said earlier, she can't afford to lose a lot of ground, so he's going to have to tuck over is Javier Castellano, who's won this race a couple of times.
And post-parade for the Belmont Oaks brought to you by the Daily Racing Form. That's the field. 14 deep, 3-year-old fillies running 1.25 miles on grass. Win and you're in for the Breeders' Cup filly and mare turf. Approximately 3 minutes to post. Selection time, gentlemen. Jerry, who do you like?
Listen, I think she is going to be in some trouble. She is going to be in some traffic, but I think Lady Eli finds a spot, and her jockey, Irad Ortiz Jr., is going to cut her loose. I'm going to go with Lady Eli. She wins.
Back in the day, bookmakers used to put odds on a chalkboard, so favorites are known as chalk. This is going to be a chalk fest. I like Lady Eli as well. Donna.
What's not to like about Lady Eli? I like Lady Eli too. Nick, can any of these European fillies beat her?
Well, Donna, I think Outstanding will run well, and there's growing confidence behind her chance, particularly with the likely pace set up here from her draw. But Lady Eli is exceptional. She ties in with the best of the European fillies back home. And if her owner wants to show the world what she's capable of, what she's done already, will do just fine at these odds. Lafitte, Lady Eli for me.
A lot of chalk and a clean sweep selection-wise. Lady Eli. So far, as we have one more selection to get, Matt Bernier, Daily Racing Form handicapper, standing by. What do you think, Matt? Lady Eli, is she trustworthy odds-on for the Belmont Oaks?
Lady Eli's a superstar. There's really no doubt about it. But I think today the perfect streak ends. I like the 11 Sentiero Italia going out for Kieran McLaughlin. Lightly raced filly. She has tactical speed. If she gets the jump on Lady Eli, I think she gets it done.
So you're out on a limb. Now we're going to put you on the spot with this Breeders' Cup $1 million finish, a chance for the viewers at home to earn a VIP trip to the Breeders' Cup this fall. Now, all you have to do is pick the top 10 order of finish for the Belmont Oaks. Take a whack at it.
It's hard enough to pick a winner, but let's try and pick 10 in a row. I like Sentiero Italia on top. I'll go with Lady Eli in second. Third, I like Olorda, Spanish Queen, Consumer Credit, and let's round out the top 10 with Daring Duchess.
Challenging today with this 14-horse field, this puzzle to figure out in the Grade 1 Belmont Oaks. And the $1 million finish, you still have time to log on to $1millionfinish.com for your chance to win that VIP trip to the 2015 Breeders' Cup at Keeneland. Free to play. Just go to $1millionfinish.com, pick your order of finish before post time of the Belmont Oaks. When we come back, the filly they all have to beat. Lady Eli, undefeated Breeders' Cup champion, the favorite, the Grade 1 Belmont Oaks. Win and you're in for the Breeders' Cup filly mare turf.
Stand the heat. Get off the test track. Get the Mercedes-Benz you've been burning for at the summer event going on now at your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. Hurry before this opportunity cools off. Share your summer moments in your Mercedes-Benz with us.
"28 days ago, this track, this town, and the sports world at large joined a party that started at Belmont Park.
And here it is. The 37-year wait is over.
And the celebration continues in the city that never sleeps as the holiday weekend calls a field of formidable fillies to these gates with a ticket to the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Turf waiting in the winner's circle. Trainer Chad Brown dominated this division in 2014. And this summer he returns with the undefeated filly, Lady Eli. Will they stand out among the star-studded guest list at this holiday bash? The party is on at Belmont Park for the Grade 1 Belmont Oaks, where it's win and you're in. Fireworks will light up the New York City skyline tonight, but first, business to tend to on the racetrack here at Belmont Park. Post-time Grade 1 Belmont Oaks. Lady Eli 3-5. Outstanding 6-1. Spanish Queen 6-1. You like anybody else? Big prices all the way down. And we start with Lady Eli, widely considered the finest 3-year-old filly in North America.
Well, we've made a lot about, where she's going to be. This is a jockey's dream. You want to save ground, you want to be in amongst horses in a grass race, and you want an explosion when you have a seam. She's got all of them.
For all Breeders' Cup Formulator Fact Pass performances, go to drf.com for trainer Chad Brown.
And there it is. The last 5 years, he's 3 for 5 here with 3-year-old fillies in Grade 1 stakes on the turf. And as we know, he's won this race 3 years in a row, so there you go.
Has 3 fillies this afternoon, does trainer Chad Brown. Spanish Queen, the California Invader, considered the most formidable foe to Lady Eli this afternoon.
And the big thing with her is the transition from California in those hard and fast turf courses to the deeper turf courses here in New York.
We just saw Bolo, who was a favorite, and with the Colts, he didn't take to it too well. Faded badly after setting an easy pace. This is a lot to ask for her. She's no gimme that she's going to like this as well as she liked those surfaces out there in California.
French rider Brice Blanc in the saddle, number 7, Consumer Credit, the filly who was 3rd to Spanish Queen in the Grade 1 American Oaks in California.
Donna mentioned earlier that trainer Richard Baltus of Spanish Queen said that, well, he beat Consumer Credit when Chad sent her out there, so he thought he fit. But Consumer Credit had some trouble in that race. She had to alter course mid-stretch. She certainly would have been second, maybe would have given Spanish Queen all she wanted.
Steps forward. Alorda, the German filly, making her U.S. debut as they continue to file into the gate for the Grade 1 Belmont Oaks Invitational. How good is Lady Eli? Last year's Breeders' Cup Juvenile Filly Turf Champ, looking to run her record to a perfect 6 for 6. 13 fillies stand in her way. It is post time for the Grade 1 Belmont Oaks Invitational. Here's Larry Colmus.
Strict compliance coming up to the outside stall. Goes in, and they're all in line. They're off in the Belmont Oaks Invitational. And Pine Needles is sent right to the front by Jose Ortiz. Sentiero Italia is going to be close up to the pace as well, and then it's Gypsy Judy toward the inside. Lady Zuzu goes up on the far outside as they make their way toward that first turn. And then it's Daring Duchess followed by Olorda, who's down on the inside. Outstanding is right behind the fellow European, racing 5 lengths off the lead and saving all the ground. There is Spanish Queen. Lady Eli is in mid-pack in the early stages here. She is 9 lengths off the lead after a very fast opening quarter mile here in 22 and 4/5 seconds. Extremely fast. It's only Acting Dad is after that, and then comes Charla Ray as they make their way to the back stretch. Consumer Credit is next, and then Miss Chatelaine and Strict Compliance last of them all. Again, it's been a hot pace set by Lady Zuzu, who's out here by 2. And Pine Needles, who flew out of the gate, is back running in second after a 47 1/2 mile, so the pace is moderated somewhat, but it's still quick. Gypsy Judy is next. On the far outside comes Daring Duchess in 4th position. Olorda is 5th at this stage of the race. Then it's Outstanding Sentiero Italia, Spanish Queen to the inside. Erad Ortiz has the heavy favorite Lady Eli, 7 off the lead, and racing outside of its only Acting Dad as they move for the far turn. Lady Zuzu in front. 3/4 was in 1:11 3, and she's 3/4 of a length ahead of Pine Needles as they round the far turn. These two are just clear of Olorda, who's 3rd to the inside of Gypsy Judy. Sentiero Italia's right there, along with Daring Duchess, and Lady Eli is going to take the overland route, and here she comes on the far outside. Lady Eli still in hand, and here she comes, and she has bursted to the lead as they move into the final furlong. Outstanding is chasing her home. It's only Acting Dad and Consumer Credit, but they're all not going to get the undefeated Lady Eli. She crushed them. Lady Eli did it again. It's only Acting Dad was second, and it's a blanket finish for 3rd in a very strong final time of 1:59.27 seconds.
A superstar performance from Lady Eli, now 6 for 6 lifetime, a dual Grade 1 winner, much the best in the Grade 1 Belmont Oaks Invitational.
Yeah, I mean, jockey Erad Ortiz did probably what trainer Chad Brown wanted him to. Find a way to get out early, which is really not what you want in turf racing. When you go wide in turf racing, that's a killer, which shows you how good this filly was. By the middle of the race, Erad had her out on the outside, 3 or 4 wide, but when he moved, everybody else was moving, so it pushed him out even further. He was 5, maybe even 6 wide as we pick it up right before they turn for home. Look at how much further she was running than anybody else, yet in the stretch she had such a powerful kick.
You knew looking at this race on paper that she was going to be farther behind and behind more horses than in any race previously in her career. Really, the only question mark would be if there was traffic, would she be able to get through, and how she would react to being that far behind in such a differently run race. But the pace was so contentious that certainly helped her chances. And bottom line, she's just awesome.
Listen, Irad Ortiz could have rode her backwards and she was going to win.
She is awesome.
In traffic, out of traffic, wide, it didn't matter.
Final time for the 1.25 miles, 1:59.1.
That is racehorse time.
Down to Donna Brothers with winning pilot Irad Ortiz Jr.
Irad, I couldn't see the race from where I was, but Jerry Bailey just said you could have ridden her backwards and she still would have won. Is she that good?
Yes, you know, first thing I want to say is thanks God and thank the trainer and the owner for giving me the opportunity to win that amazing filly. And she ride good. Chad, the trainer Chad Brown don't put me any pressure. He told me riding like it's a 20,000 claiming race. So I got all the confidence on my filly. You know, she's a very nice filly. She broke out of there. She broke okay. I don't rush her. I don't take it back. Beautiful trip. I swing him out. Got the best horse, so I going out and she take off in the stretch.
Irad, I talked to Chad earlier this week, and when he talked to me, he was worried about that inside post. Were you worried about it at all?
Well, I talked to him this morning, and, you know, I told him, Chad, with one filly like this one, you don't worry about anything on the race. I think she's a very nice filly, and, you know, I got a lot of confidence from her.
This is a Breeders' Cup win in your end race for the Breeders' Cup filly and mare turf. Do you look forward to riding her against the best fillies in the world?
You know, whatever the owners and the trainer, Chad Brown, decide to do, he's a great trainer. Whatever he decide to do, we're gonna be positive to try to do it.
All right, enjoy the win. And guys, she may indeed be the best 3-year-old filly in the world right now.
Already a Breeders' Cup champion, Lady Eli, down to Nick Luck.
With trainer Chad Brown interviewing the winning trainer once again. Chad, many congratulations. How nervous were you coming into today?
Always nervous. Her toughest test yet, going 1.25 miles with a huge field and a tricky post on the inside. Irad rode her beautifully, and I'm just so happy that the fans got to see her. You know, to me, she's the best turf horse I've ever had, and I just love the opportunity to show her off to everybody.
What chance you will take her abroad before the end of her career to prove that she's the best 3-year-old filly in the world?
Well, right now I don't have any plans to do that. We're going to finish out the year here, right at home, and certainly there'll be larger challenges lie ahead, but right now we're going to enjoy this.
Breeders' Cup filly and mare turf for ultimate destination this year?
I would say so. If she's already conquered the 3-year-old fillies in this country, I think it's maybe time to take on the older mares, but we'll talk about it.
A magnificent performance. Well done.
Thank you.
Best turf horse he's ever trained. High praise for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Filly Turf Champ, Lady Eli, unblemished, dominant this afternoon.
Kentucky Derby winner Orb posted 5 consecutive wins, including this signature victory.
And Orb has won the Kentucky Derby!
In the Fountain of Youth, Orb bested an undefeated Grade 1 winner and was 2/5 off the track record. Orb took the Florida Derby by storm and was made the solid favorite in Kentucky.
Have won the Florida Derby!
Orb hails from a family of successful sires and champions. Kentucky Derby and dual Grade 1 winner Orb at Claiborne Farm.
I've got a to-do list and 5 acres of fresh air.
Top 3 tools: hammer, screwdriver, front loader.
Happiness is a drive over mower deck.
A John Deere dealer can teach tractors to anybody.
In the right hands, an iMatch Quick Hitch could probably cure most of the world's problems.
That's how we run, and nothing runs like a Deere. John Deere is a proud sponsor of the Breeders' Cup.
Hey, Rick. I've been meaning to get back to you. It's important.
Next week. Yep.
Sounds good. We'll see you.
Tim, no time now, but halftime.
Yo, you play?
Where'd you find this guy? My life insurance guy. So what are you doing next weekend?
The Breeders' Cup Challenge is brought to you by Keeneland Racing and Sales. And by Las Vegas. Get into the spirit of Vegas season. Crowd still stirring here at Belmont Park following that performance. A daylight victory. Lady Eli, 5-6 wide on the far turn. No matter. She rolls to victory in the Grade 1 Belmont Oaks Invitational. The Twin Spires payouts are available. Chalky, but trustworthy in the end. Lady Eli, 360, 280, 240. It's only Hactingdad at 35-1. Completing the exacta, we did have a dead heat for third between numbers 10, Outstanding, and 11, Sentiero Italia. Upcoming races on the Breeders' Cup Challenge Series. Here's the race. This is what you want to circle on your calendar. August 2nd, live on NBC, the William Hill Haskell Invitational featuring the return of Triple Crown winner American Pharoah. All roads leading to Lexington, Keeneland. The first time ever the Breeders' Cup will be contested in the cradle of the breeding industry. Special thanks to Equibase, the industry's official database for thoroughbred racing information. Coming up next, except on the West Coast, it's your local news. Tonight, 8 Eastern, it's the Macy's 4th of July Fireworks Spectacular. And later tonight, 11:30, 10:30 Central, it's Saturday Night Live with host Amy Adams and musical guest One Direction. From the entire cast and crew at Belmont, have a great night, everyone. Happy 4th of July.